October 21st, 2021 was our cross-country conference meet, so it's kind of like my last meet, but not for the varsity. I'm on junior varsity. I don't know how any of this terminology works. I'm not too savvy on it, but I just know it was our last before I guess some of the top 10 runners went to regionals. It was at Olson Park, so earlier that day my mom checked me out of school early instead of riding the bus. She drove me there, and Olson Park is more up north Wilmington, and the racetrack is like a loop, and then you go through some fields, through a trail and a forest-y kind of thing, and then back through the loop, and you do 3 laps of those, and you get to about 3.2 miles, so it's the same as like a 5K, like the Tinted Turtle Trot that I did in 2018 and 2019 for Island Montessori. We get there, and I run my race. Everything was good. I actually got a personal record of 23 minutes and 35 seconds, so yay for me. And our top runner, basically our best on the team, definitely, Will, is extraordinary. He has a very good future ahead of him and everything. He's committed to the University of Richmond for running, so props to him. I think it's the Spiders is what they are. That's their mascot. So he has a big future of running ahead of him, and track as well. On this day, they ran, of course, after us because I'm in the junior varsity, so we ran first. Afterwards, it was the boys' varsity, so the better than junior varsity is varsity. So they started, and he seemed like he was on a crazy good pace at first, like 4 or 5 minutes, so he times that by 3.2, and that's like 16 or 17 minutes. And he was on pace to get probably a personal record, but at the third lap, the last lap, as he was coming out of the woods, people speculated and noticed that he was really pale, and he started to fade his running speed. Eventually, on the second to last loop, before hitting the finish line, or the last curve, he collapsed. Yep, he collapsed. He fell to the side. Nothing he tripped on. He didn't run into anything or anyone. He just simply fell to the side, toward the trees, on the ground, and it's really scary and disturbing seeing like your top best person kind of like do something like that. You almost have this feeling of like uncertainty or something, or like you feel lost. Yeah, people started rushing over to help him up. The following video I'm about to show you was shot by me, and I was filming the finish line, and when I turned on the camera, this was moments, like seconds after he supposedly collapsed. And I didn't notice until after I filmed the first person go by and then pan the camera back the other way. The person going by was what won the race, that specific one, Evan Pena from Hoggard High School, I believe. Crazy. I think a time of 15 and 48. As I pan the camera back around, 6 or 7 seconds into the video, you can start to hear people like getting concerned, like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, what's going on with Will? Where is he?
Come on, Evan! Let's go, Evan!
Oh no. And that's when I started to look, and I saw him basically balled up on the ground near the trees. And you can see like a little speck or pixel of white, and that was him. I might try zooming in the camera or slowing it down or something. I just thought it'd be fun to film like the ending of the race as usual. And once I noticed, I kind of turned the camera off after a few seconds, and then I didn't rush over immediately, but I kind of walked toward the area as not too many teammates were, going. Like, a lot were just sidetracked and distracted, which was the other crazy part. A lot of people were just really subtle about it, just like, yeah, what's going on? So he gets up finally, and then within another moment, he falls a second time. I didn't film any of this, but this was probably even crazier because then he gets really close to me, and then he collapses again within like 3 or 4 seconds. And while he was running it, notice it looks like he had a cramp or like was holding something. He could have been dehydrated, exhausted, had a cramp, who knows. But then he finally finishes off with a time of 17 minutes and 2 seconds. 17 minutes and 9, I can't remember exactly. It was 6. One of our other top runners picks him up with both his arms and runs him over to our tent where we were based, lays him down on the chairs and then the ground, and we could all see his chest. Of course, half the team wasn't there to see it because they were still running the race, but the junior varsity team was able to see that he was not in the best condition. We had to hand him some Gatorades or something. His eyes were pretty much fully closed, and you could just see his breathing. His mom was rushed over there, I believe, and 1 or 2 other people. No paramedics, but I could start to see rising concerns about it. And eventually, one of the top runners again was on the call, or on their phone. I think they were calling 911. And then another 20 minutes goes by. Some of these photos and footage you're about to see, I shot once again. And I'm not being like creepy or anything, but I wanted to take some pictures for my mom and dad and sister because they actually weren't there. They left after I finished. So a few minutes after the varsity boys started, they went to go pick up some takeout sushi real quick, and in the time that they were gone, that happened. So I sent photos and pictures to them, just letting them know like this has happened while you were gone. And I probably didn't say it in the best way. I think I just straight up texted like Will collapsed and sent these photos. Yep, I found one. That's just maybe dehydration. It looks as if like something maybe hurt in his leg. So after some of those photos and videos, a paramedic did come. I think an ambulance was parked. I didn't see it, but they then brought out a stretcher, and that's when I was like, wow. So I filmed a bit again because I wanted to show this to mom and dad too.
Wait, oh wait.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Just because I've never experienced something like this. Like, I've probably seen it in public, like far away, like my mom or dad. Never been on a team though, or in a group of people. And among those, we had someone that something bad happened to him or experienced fatigue. After they picked him up and brought him down there, I filmed again as he was getting on, and they took him away. So here are those couple of seconds. Afterwards, before the award ceremony, so this was like 30 minutes later, the Coach Sean, not Coach Chitty, but Coach Sean said to us that he was actually sick this whole week, and that's the reason he started to fade. He wasn't having fluids given to him, and he just started to collapse and felt like he couldn't do it. He was in the ambulance at the time of the awards, and then eventually was rushed home. with still, I think, like an IV or something in him. Just really unfortunate for him. It was crazy for me to experience that. That's probably the main reason I'm making this video. Not necessarily like all respect to Will. I'm not like like that. Like it's crazy to experience. I mean, I messaged the guy the night after, so Friday night, October 22nd, I messaged him on Instagram. He responded the next morning saying, thank you, he's still throwing up, and that's when I was even more shocked. So I told mom and dad about that, and they're like, wow, really? So he reached back out to me with that message, and that's just about it. I think he's doing better. I would assume so, because he's moving on to regionals. I think that's happening on October 29th, so good job to him, but it's crazy that he experienced fatigue. So I hope you enjoy my little narration and the videos and pictures that I took, and I'll respect him once again. Very good job, Will Marhold. But that's crazy that we experienced that on October 21st. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.